So what's up everyone, and welcome back to another one of these kind of what I call random but not random videos where I talk about some things either from tips to maybe doing a Planet Coaster. But this week I had someone say to me that I should do a video talking about the different lockers all across Central Florida at all three different theme parks, from Walt Disney World to Universal to Busch Gardens and Seaworld, because they use the same locker system. And I thought that was kind of interesting, and the more I read about it, the more I realized it's a lot of information. So make sure you guys just stick around, because we'll be going right into some crazy locker information. Mostly because I want to give you guys an idea of how big each locker is, like what can each one fit, you know, what kind of bag, if you bring a bag, what size it's going to fit in each locker. The Disney World ones I'm going to be a little iffy on because I'm not 100% sure what they fit, but we'll just go through and I'll give you guys dimensions, how much they cost, and where they're located. So the big thing is so we're gonna start at Walt Disney World. The locker rentals at Walt Disney World feature keyless system. Now what they all mean, it just means that you have to use buttons. You press buttons and put in a code to unlock and lock it. So you don't have to worry about keeping a key on you. It's all you know, it's easier that way. Plus you just remember a code throughout the day. In worst case, if you forget, someone can assist you with it. But at Walt Disney World, they do offer different lockers all throughout Walt Disney World, and they can range in size from small, medium to large. And they're small, large, and then jumbo, but those are only available at Magic Kingdom and Epcot. So the small size is a 12 by 10 by 17. A large is 15.5 by 13 by 17. So they're all about the same kind of depth, because that's what the 17 is how deep they are. So the small locker is $10 per day, and a large locker is $12 per day. Now if you are renting a jumbo locker from Magic Kingdom or Epcot, that's going to be a 17-inch by 22-inch by 26-inch. But that's only $15 a day. So if you've got some big things that you need to put in there, like a cooler or something, it would fit it just fine, so you don't have to worry about carrying that around, put it on rides. What's pretty cool is that it's actually very easy to rent a locker. If you're paying with cash or any sort of major credit card, you will actually just go right up to a self-serving kiosk. And that self-serving kiosk, they've actually been using this at the water parks. And so all you go is, you pick which size you want, you put in the code you're going to use, so then it registers the code, and then it prints you out which locker you're going to be given. So it will give you the locker and you just go to it, and you've got your code set for it. But if you are paying with a Magic Band or a gift card, you will need to go see a cast member at a merchandise location nearest the lockers so they can help you out. And so then they will give you a code to then put into the self-service kiosk to give you locker. But all these lockers are on availability of first come, first served basis. If you are going to the water parks, and once we get done talking about the size, if you're going to the water parks, they only have two sizes for Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon. They have a standard, which is 12.5 by 10 by 17. Then they have a large, which is 15.5 by 13 by 17. So the large is the same large as the ones at the parks, at the theme parks. The small is just a little bit taller. I can tell you the small locker fits quite a lot for two people. I could easily put this bag in there, usually 2 beach towels, sunscreen, and probably a small cooler if I wanted to. I could put that in there. So it kind of takes a lot of space. It's only $10 per day, so if you've got a party of 4, you guys can split the cost. It's not super expensive, it's not crazy. And the nice thing is, you don't have to keep a key on you. That's the one thing I didn't like before. You just have the key, and it's easy to lose those keys. So the fact that it's keyless makes it much easier. But those are the lockers at the water parks. So now we're gonna go through, and I'm gonna talk about where you can find each lockers. So if you're going to the Magic Kingdom and you need to rent a locker, and I'll put a picture of where they are. If you're looking for a locker, it's actually going to be right as soon as you enter through the touch point off to the right, next to where wheelchairs and everything are. That's what will be right in there. You'll take care of it there. If you're going to Epcot, there's actually 2 locations at Epcot. You're gonna have one at the International Gateway, which is down behind the France Pavilion near the Skyway Station. And there's gonna be one up by Spaceship Earth, but it's gonna be on to the right, near the Camera Center on the right, where they sell all the Epcot and all the pins. It's essentially the new pin shop. If you're going to be going to Hollywood Studios is gonna be right next to Crossroads of the World, off to the right again by the strollers and wheelchairs location. If you're looking to rent one at Animal Kingdom, they've actually got two locations, one actually for a ride and one for like normal day. So if you're looking for the ones at the front of the park, it's gonna be the Expedition storage lockers. And as soon as you enter through the touch points, you're gonna immediately go to the left, and the lockers are gonna be right there on the left, right next to the bathroom on the left-hand side, across the way from wheelchairs. If you're looking to borrow one for Kali River Rapids, which is the water ride, that will be, they actually offer the same thing there. Same pricing, same everything. If you are looking to rent one at Blizzard Beach, there's two locations. There's one over at the Ski Patrol training camp, which is actually near the front of the park. Those are the ones that are mostly used, but they do have a second location that's actually at, so the first location is near, the second location is Frostbite Freddy's, which is next to the gift shops and everything. The other one is by Ski Patrol training camp, which is near the kiddie area. So they do have two locations. So again, first come, first serve on those busy summer days. You're really want to try to get there early to get those ones closer to the front, because the ones near the front are near the changing stations or changing areas. So, and then over at Typhoon Lagoon, they have two locations once again. There could be one near Singapore Cells, which is again near the main entrance of the park. And then they have a second one that's actually near Typhoon Tilly's, which is where the shark reef area used to be, where you could snorkel and stuff. So that's all there. And if you need to find out any of this information, they actually have this all on My Disney Experience or WaltDisneyWorld.com. You can look it up and they'll actually tell you exactly. That's where I found all these, which I just went in and looked, and it gives the exact location of all of them. So if you're interested and you need to borrow one because you don't want to carry around a bigger bag on a busier day and you don't want to take it on an attraction with you, because all the rides at Walt Disney World do allow you to take your bags on the ride. Bigger items, they may need to take it with you, but if you don't want to worry about it, they will be able to accommodate it, but you will sometimes have to just put down by your feet, because most of the attractions at Walt Disney World you get on and off at different places. So that's all the Walt Disney World wants. Very simple. Now we're gonna head to Universal, and Universal has a little bit more going on with there. So just stick around and we're gonna talk about Universal next. Alright, so now we are actually gonna head over to Universal Orlando Resort, and they actually have two different styles of theme park lockers. So they do offer all-day locker rentals. Now it's a bigger deal with the all-day rental lockers for Universal Volcano Bay, because they are a water park and you're gonna want to store your stuff. So first we're just gonna quickly say that the ones at Volcano Bay come in three sizes: a mini, a regular, and a family, which is the same size as a small locker that they offer for the rides, which is a 14 by, which actually is for their larger lockers, which is a 12 by 13 by 16.9. So, and then they come in a family, a mega and a mini size. So the mini is $9, regular is $13, and $16 is for the family. Now mini is a little bit smaller because it's the same size as what they offer in the park. It can maybe fit my Kabu bag and a couple of beach towels, but you may need to spend a little bit more for that, so you may need a regular size. But if you have a huge family, you're going to want the family one because it's going to be able to fit more stuff for 4 or 5 people. But those are located at the Rainforest Village, River Village, and Wave Village. So there's 3 locations. There's one near the front as soon as you go in the park to the left. There's one to the right near a couple of the bigger slides, and then there's one all the way in the very back of the park behind the volcano and everything. They're probably, if you're looking for a quieter spot, that's where they're going to be at. So that's Volcano Bay. Over at Universal and Islands of Adventures, they do offer 2 different size lockers. So they offer a large locker, which is measuring 12 by 13 by 16.9. They are near the park entrances. I don't know exactly where. I think when you go to Universal, it's off to the left. As soon as you go into the left, over by the restrooms over there. And then if you're looking for a locker at Islands of Adventure, again, it's gonna be as soon as you go in, immediately to the left, right next to where the scooter rental area is. So if you're looking to borrow the large locker, it's gonna be $10 for the entire day. If you're looking to rent a family size locker, which is a 12 by 16.25 inches by 16.9. So the family size is only a little bit bigger, and it's $15. So it can probably, it just depends what you need. But the nice thing about Universal, they do offer lockers, a single time use locker at attractions. And so these come in 2 sizes, and these are the ones that are a little bit more tricky, but I understand why they had to go down in sizes. So they do offer the standard size locker, which is a 14-inch wide, 15 by 5 tall, and 16.9 deep. Now, me and Kayla did some experimenting while we were at Universal the other day, and we came to find out that the standard size fits, if you're lucky, 2 fully loaded Kavu bags. Now again, these were full of stuff. I actually had to take my water bottle out of mine to make it fit, but it does fit both of these. But you can get one per part, one per person. Except at Green Gots, they're very picky about that. So they do offer that for free while you're at the ride, but they do offer a larger locker, which is the same size as their standard, I think. Yeah, it's the same size as their large locker at the front of the park, which is a 12-inch by 13-inch by 16.9 inches. But those can be also stored for only $2 during the posted wait time. And if, say, it goes longer, it's $3 per 30 minutes, but only up to a maximum of $20 per day. If you have an issue where, like, say you get in line, like, great example is Hagrid's. Hagrid's can have a very inflated wait time, or it can break down so you get stuck. So if you end up coming out and you've already paid the $2 and you're a little bit over, go talk to one of the locker attendants. They usually are aware of what's happening, so they can help you out with that. But I can tell you that this will fit in there, but my camera bag, so this thing, I would have to get I would have to pay $2 for the locker. And there is no option to renting like multiple of the bigger lockers to use. So like something like this, I would have to pay $2 at every attraction we went to ride. So a lot of times when I take this, I am definitely not going on any attraction at Universal. So that's kind of the big thing. They do also offer lockers over at the water rides, but those are additional cost. So you have to take your bag on the water rides with you if you don't want to pay for it. I think I have the information here. So over at River Adventure, Popeye and Bluto's, and Deli Do Rides, you can use a single time use locker for $4 for the posted wait time and up to $3 per minute for a maximum of $20 per day. So you do have to pay for those, but they are bigger lockers, so that's why. I think that's a big reason why a lot of people stuff as much stuff as they can in. So the lockers are located all throughout the park. So over at Universal Studios, they're offered at Revenge of the Mummy, Men in Black, Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, Harry Potter and Escape from Green Gots. So those are the only ones that's located there. Over at Islands of Adventure, because I got a lot of this from the website, Islands of Adventure, it's only offered at the Incredible Hulk Coaster, Harry Potter Forbidden Journey, and Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure. And more than likely, when it does open, it'll be offered at the Velocicoaster as well. But they do, like I said, they do offer it, but they are very small, so I would say be wary. On rides like the Incredible Hulk Coaster and Revenge of the Mummy, not Revenge of the Mummy, Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, they do metal detectors well, and I do think Velocicoaster will be offering the same thing, where they will be doing a metal detector, so you can't have anything in your pockets. So you will have to use one of those lockers no matter what. So, but yeah, those are the Universal lockers. And now we're actually going to head over to SeaWorld / Busch Gardens, because they essentially offer the same. The lockers are pretty much the same. They run by the same company. Actually, funny thing is, all these lockers are run usually by the same group. But I also forgot to mention, over at Universal, if you're not using one of the ones at the front, if you're using one at the ride, you do need to have your Universal Pass to scan. If you do not have your pass, they do offer locker tickets to use, so you can just use that to scan in and out, so you can get it. So it means you don't have to keep track of your code, but you do have to keep track of which station you go to, because they're divided up into stations. So when you come off a ride, like, which station you're at? Oh, that's station 8. All right, go right over there, scan your ticket, pops the thing right open. So yeah, that's the Universal lockers. Universal's very much more strict with their rides with that, so be mindful. I would say maybe take a smaller bag unless you want to pay the $2 for every attraction. Alrighty, and so off to the last couple parks. So SeaWorld Orlando and Busch Gardens Tampa both do offer the same lockers for the attractions, but they do differ with the ones at the front of the parks. So the ones at SeaWorld, for the daily rentals, the lockers are near the SeaWorld Orlando park entrance. And those are actually, if you go through if you go down, and when it goes off to split, either go left to Manta or go to right towards the Dolphin Nursery. It's off to the right past the Emporium and right in there. So again, that's another one of those self-serving kiosks for that. They do offer multiple ranges, ranging from 13-inch by 17.5 inch to 22 inch by 13.5 inches, and they're all 18 inches deep. And those can range anywhere from $15 to $25 a day. But the nice thing is, over at Seaworld, they do offer single-use lockers at the attractions again. Over at Seaworld and Busch Gardens, they use the small locker, so the 17 times 13 times 18 inch lockers are used at all the attractions. And so over at Seaworld, they are used at Journey to Atlantis, Kraken, Manta, and Mako. Over at Busch Gardens, they're offered for Montu, Cobra's Curse, Cheetah Hunt, Scorpion / Falcon's Fury, because they use the same ones, Kumba, the River Rapids, Shikra / the Stanley Falls Flume, same one, and Tigress, and when it opens, Iron Gwazi. So these will be used there. Now, for both parks, the small locker fits, actually surprisingly, my camera bag, and me and Kayla could fit both of our Kabus into the lockers. So they're very roomy. They're like I said, 17.5 tall, 13 inches wide, with 18 deep. They are very much more roomy than I think people realize. But at both parks, if you would like to rent a single-use locker, they are usually $2 per hour there for each locker. Or, to get your money's worth out of it, which I think is better at Busch Gardens, you can spend $8 for a movable locker throughout the day. All it just means is when you go up to the self-serving kiosk at the first of attractions, you put in that you want to rent a multi-use locker. They'll ask for your not phone number, they'll ask for an 8-digit number, and then they will ask for a code that you use the entire day. So when you go up to the next ride, you put in that 8-digit code plus the code you would like to use. And so these are really nice, really convenient. And I think at Cheetah Hunt, at not Cobra's Curse, at Busch Gardens, the $8 is worth it, because really you only need to use it at 4 lockers to get your money's worth. So at Seaworld, they actually do offer 5. It's missing one. One of them is Infinity Falls, which a lot of people don't know about, because Infinity Falls is still so new. So you actually get it at 5. So if you want to ride all 5 of those attractions, I would say the $8 is worth it, because if you spend the $2 on every one, it's $10. So you save $2 by doing that. At Busch Gardens, you save a lot of money because of how many attractions there are. But if you are looking to also, for the daily lockers at Busch Gardens, they do offer a standard, a large, and a jumbo. Again, same sizing as SeaWorld. SeaWorld is very much more like very basic information. Busch Gardens gave a lot. And so these self-service lockers are available for rent at the Morocco section of the park by Lost and Found near the entrance. Now this is if you're going towards Iron Gwazi, where it splits off. You go up and around towards Gwazi. There's some lockers right there next to the first aid area, Lost and Found. And these are self-servicing kiosks, so you can use cash or credit card. And they do offer 3 dimensions, 17.5 height, 13 inches wide, 18 inches deep for $15. A large for 10.5 height, 16.5 wide, and 18 deep for $20 for the entire day. And then jumbo at 13.5 height with 22.5 wide with 18 inches deep, $25 per day. And so they do offer that. I do think the single use at the attractions is probably a better deal, because you can still, you're not using as much. Now again, if you have bigger items, you're probably gonna wanna put them in there. Plus, they're near the front of the park, so if you're making your way around, you just have to make it up to there. But yeah, so that's kind of all the lockers I have to talk about. Pretty much everything runs the same way. It's kind of a lot of information, but it's information that I feel like people need to know about, because a lot of people don't know about the lockers. I actually had to look up all the Disney World stuff, because I completely forgot Disney World offer lockers. Running rumor is though that when Tron opens at Magic Kingdom, there will be lockers, but that'll be something we'll go over maybe later. So, but yeah, hopefully this guy's answered any questions you have, especially if you've never been to like SeaWorld or Universal or even Disney with these lockers and you need to borrow a locker. That's really what they're all at. So, but with all that being said, I do have from another fantastic, hopefully helpful video for your travels. I will see y'all next time.